Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Hello, happy Tuesday.
No, you're not mistaken. It's not Monday. It's Tuesday.
No, but it
Uh,
kind of feels like Monday. I don't know.
it's
Days
you
get very
know,
confusing this time of year.
well, that's the thing. The holiday season, I am just kind of in a blur. I don't know where the weekend starts and the week begins, and
Right.
it's so hard to keep on a regular schedule because there's so many events and things going on right now.
Yes. Very
Uh,
exciting.
But we are happy to be with you here today, and we're also happy that Mr. Michael Bingham is here with
Yay.
us. Happy birthday, Michael!
Woo!
In just 7 days,
So
we
soon.
will hope you are going to have a great birthday week, and thank you for joining us today. We'll give a few seconds for a few other folks to join us, and then we will jump right into recording
Woo.
this week's episode because I'm sure you have places to go. I think I'm going to swing by maybe Epcot. I have not
Ooh.
gotten to visit the Festival of the Holidays this year yet, and I want to go check out Ratatouille without the
Oh,
3D.
yes. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts.
Well, I know what my thoughts are going to be because
Yeah.
I'm a 3D junkie. I'm
Yes,
probably the only person that you know who actually
you
has a huge
are.
collection of 3D movies and watches them.
Woo.
So the taking 3D out of anything makes me sad.
Yeah.
But we
I
will. I'll
know.
see.
And it's like,
I'll reserve my judgment until I see.
yes, you need like enough physical set pieces, like, A Secret Life of Pets or something to really pull
Mm-hmm.
off the screen,
Mm-hmm.
immersion without the 3D.
I'll let you know what I think when I get back. Well, I think it's going to be a little light today. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into
Yes.
recording? And we are going to kick this show off in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth,
And I'm Carly.
and we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. Carly, how have you been this past week?
I have been fabulous. I did a little 48-hour West Coast jaunt to
Ooh.
cram in as much Southern California theme park holiday goodness as I could.
Well, thoughts and prayers on the jet lag, but
Yes, I
give
actually
us.
feel great,
Oh,
but I think
great.
it's just when I go for little short times, like 48 hours,
You
I
don't
only
even shift times of that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm great. So it was
So what were the highlights?
so I started off at Universal Studios Hollywood for their holidays, which I love so much. Grinchmas is so fabulous there. It's kind of I feel like the cornerstone of their holiday event because they have that whole central plaza, which becomes
Mhm.
the hub. You have Cindy Lou Who reading stories, you have Max, you have the Grinch that you can meet, all these amazing snacks. I got to try, I don't know if you saw this, it's one of the seasonal food items. It's called the Stick-a-Doodle. Have you
Ooh.
seen it?
Is it a snickerdoodle on a stick?
No, it's a
Oh.
corn dog that
Oh.
is then it sounds very crazy. It's dipped in cheese sauce and then cereal puffs, like fruity cereal puffs.
I
And
think I
that
need
was
to
the
go
number
take a
one thing.
Lactaid just
I
hearing about
I
that.
know. I only had 2 bites because I didn't want to get ill, but it was delicious. It was so good.
That's a ringing endorsement.
I know. It was wonderful. I did the studio tour. I went on
Oh,
every single ride. It was perfect. I love Universal Studios Hollywood, and
awesome.
I saw Fast and Furious testing.
Did you see it testing? Did you get to
Yes.
see I've been watching videos of it going around the circuit and starting to drift, and it looks like it's going to be a phenomenal ride.
Oh my! It is just. I mean, I've seen it now a bunch. The construction process.
Mhm.
But it is so crazy just how close to the escalators it is. Like, it's
Yeah.
almost a little, like, scary. My sister who hadn't seen it yet was like, I'm a little freaked out. I'm like, I know. It's, like, right there.
The escalators are scary enough on
Right.
their own
Like,
without a roller coaster over them.
100%. So that was amazing to see. And then I went over to Disneyland,
Yes.
and I am not a rope dropper, but I did a full 8 a.m. to midnight,
Ooh.
Disneyland one day because I wanted to cram everything in as well.
It's a lot. Did you count your steps?
I did. I did 22 miles this weekend. And that was about 14 at Disneyland alone on the one day. But, I want to make the most out of it. And I will say it was some of the lightest wait times in attractions I've seen at Disneyland since like 2021 COVID reopening. This time of the year, it was sold out the day that I visited, but because it's the holidays, it's a lot of locals and they're focused on doing all the holiday activities, like taking a picture with the tree, buying a silhouette, shopping for merch, meeting the characters. I did probably like 15 to 20 rides the entire day. And we did have Lightning Lane, but we kind of stacked it and then alternated with just waiting in queues. And I never waited more than like 15 minutes. I went on Pirates twice and it was 5 minutes. Yeah, it was like a perfect day. And the main reason I went out there was to do Candlelight, which was my first time there.
So who did you get to see and how is the experience different from what we have at Epcot?
Yes, it was absolutely incredible. So I've done the Epcot one, obviously many, many times. The Disneyland one is invite only. So I couldn't believe that I was invited, so it
is well deserved. If anyone's going to get invited, it should be you.
I felt very special. It was really, once I got the invite, I was like, there's no way that I'm not going and doing this. It was incredible. It's very intimate. It's set up like the stage, looks very similar to the Epcot version, with the orchestra, the local choirs, Disneyland cast members, and it's at the Main Street train station. And then most of the invites are personal invites from Disney and Club 33 members. I believe they have to do a raffle or some sort to be able to get in.
When something's so exclusive that just being a member of Club 33 is not good enough.
I know. It's crazy. And they do those raffles for all sorts of things, but this is like the coveted ticket. There's only 2 nights of Candlelight at Disneyland, and there are 2 shows each of these 2 nights. It's usually one of the first weekends in December. And when we got to the park to rope drop at 8 a.m., because there's not like barricades up that you couldn't see if you're passing by, because the chairs are all in the central hub. Front of the train station. So people were already camped out at park opening.
Just to sit there all day.
And it doesn't start till the evening after sundown. It was crazy. I mean, I kind of was expecting that to be the case, but yeah, a lot of people are already there. It's along the lines, the same thing, 45 minutes, the telling of the story of Christmas. And we had Benjamin Bratt as our celebrity narrator. So he is Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco, going back all the way to Miss Congeniality. He's always been a very, very good looking man. He had an incredible speaking voice to narrate this. And it was just very moving, beautiful, and just really intimate. So it felt very special.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so it was very incredible, wonderful time at Disneyland. And when we were exiting, the snow was coming down Main Street, and it was a poetic ending to a great little quickie weekend. There's nothing like the holidays at Disneyland. I love their festival too. Got to try a lot of delicious bites, some new stuff, some returning, and it was just wonderful. I love Disneyland at Christmas, everything. So
see. My pass is now blocked out, I think, for
I know
for the next couple of weeks. But I was looking to see if there was any way I could find an affordable flight and hotel room to even though the park's not that busy, hotels are a bit pricey.
Yeah, so I will say I forgot to book a hotel until the weekend, of which I'm very classic for doing, and I was really afraid to pull up, my Hilton app and all that. Sure. A lot of the hotels were under 200, which is shocking for this time of year. So again, I think it goes back to my theory. It's a lot of locals driving in for the day on the weekend, doing their traditions. We stayed at the Hilton Anaheim. It was under 200 a night, which I love that hotel. It's about 10 to 15 minute walk to the parks. It was just redone. The room was amazing, much better than I think the last time I stayed there was like 2021. It is definitely in my top 5 favorite of area hotels that are affordable and you can walk, which is important because I wanted to, also another thing with candlelight at Disneyland, people get really dressed up, like sequins dresses,
Wow.
suits. A lot of people go for like a nice meal. So it was important to be able to stay like a quick walk so that we can go get dressed up and then have a drink at Grand Californian before. So
yes,
love the Hilton Anaheim. It's a solid choice if you are looking for something. So
it's a great recommendation.
Yeah. So it was great.
My week was not nearly as exotic or exclusive as yours. We had a really wet weekend here in Orlando.
Shout out to everyone that did Jollywood and Mickey's Very Merry, because that looked rough.
I gotta say it is my fault. I am sorry, but it had been dry for a while, and I put water into my pool, and inevitably every time I add water to my pool, it's gonna pour rain.
Oh
So
no!
I caused it. No, but I did go out and do a couple things last week. I found a day in the middle of last week that was the cheapest day to buy a one-day ticket to Epic Universe until next September. So I wanted to see what that would be like, and it was a really lovely and exhausting experience. I was the first car in valet parking at 7:45 a.m. and the last car to leave at almost 11 p.m.
Wow. I did follow your adventures at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, and I was shocked by the early morning arrival. But if you are purchasing that one-day ticket, you got to make it.
You got to make it. And I think it worked out well for me because I was able to knock out Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry before the park even officially opened. And for technical reasons, it was up and down all day. So if that's an important ride to you at that park, and I think it should be, it's like if you want to have the best odds of it being open for you, first thing in the morning is your only real bet. But when I say first thing in the morning, like I was like the first person at the security line. I was like right at the front.
Wow.
And when I got off the ride, there was a 2.5 hour wait behind me. So if you're not at the front of that pack, then an hour before the park closes, assuming the ride's still running, is a good choice. But I did manage to do just about everything in the park except for the water ride, which I didn't feel like getting soaked.
I don't blame you. It's
every other ride and show in the park, including Minecart Madness. I even got that 15-minute wait at closing. I recommend buying one of those DK banana floats right outside the ride. Step into line, 1 minute before the park closes, and you'll have just enough time to finish your ice cream before you get on the ride.
Wow, I haven't done it in the dark. How is it at night?
It is better because the track mechanism is less obvious. And also there's that those brief dark ride interior scenes look much better without all the light leak. It's still a rough ride though. It's still
for our old bones.
I think 15 minutes is about what I'm willing to wait for that.
Wow.
But it was for the first time I did a park hopper. I did Epic until midday. I then went over and did lap around the studios and Islands of Adventure, and then took the bus all the way back. Turned out being like 35,000 steps.
Wow.
Almost 16 miles on the day. So
that is very brave. I have to ask, did you try any of these seasonal snacks at Epic Universe? Because there's that mac and cheese cone that I've been dying to try.
I gotta say, it's all about the lactate. I look at the mac and cheese cones, and more power to anyone who can power through one of those and still walk around the theme park. But no, the closest thing I had to a seasonal food is I'm not going to make it home for Hanukkah. I'm not going to get to have my mom's matzo ball soup this holiday season. The chicken knödel soup with salad at the Goblet Noir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's as good as my mom's matzo ball soup, but it's way better than 2J's. So that was a good pick.
Also, it's just so chill in there, which is like it's a weird word to use to describe a theme park restaurant, but it is such good vibes to relax in there if you need like a decompress.
The other thing I got to stop by was the media preview for the Front Yard Holiday Festival. This is in downtown Orlando. The Dr. Phillips Center, which is the big performing arts center, has this huge lawn. It's called the Senif Arts Plaza in front of it. And they tried this back during COVID. It went away. They're bringing it back this year. They've built an outdoor stage. They have live concerts and movies. They have food booths, they have fire pits, they have Santa Claus, and it's free to the public. There's no admission charge. The shows are free, and sponsors like Advent Health are paying the performers. So other than trying to find a place to park downtown, it's totally free. Obviously, you have to pay for food, and they have drinks too. But it's a great way to celebrate the holiday season with your family if you're downtown Orlando.
Amazing. There's
All
no
right.
shortage of things to do for sure.
For sure. Well, all right. We've been chatting for quite a while now. So I think without any further ado, it is time for us to jump into the news in the queue. All right. For this week's news in the queue, we're going to start out down under. Bluey, the popular cartoon character from Australia, has invaded United States Disney theme parks. Bluey and Bingo are coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom in Florida, as well as Disneyland in California in 2026. And we've got some details on how they will appear.
Yes, the internet just about broke when this was first revealed that he was, or she was coming. I always do that.
Yes. I don't want to misgender Bluey.
Yes.
Yes.
Bluey and her sister.
Bluey and her sister are coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom at the conservation station at Rafiki's Planet Watch. They're going to have a new play and dance experience that guests will be able to hop aboard the Wildlife Express train, go out there to the animal hospital. And I guess on one side, they will get to see, actual living animals having surgery and other medical exams. And on the other side of the window will be Bluey and Bingo dancing around. It sounds like this is going to be less of a standard wait in line meet and greet and more of a interactive play experience. Where you can snap some pictures, but it's more about playing and dancing.
I love it.
Which I like those. I like that format better.
Yes, I'm so happy we're doing more and more of this less formal meeting.
I am curious. I don't know if it explicitly said it in any of the press releases, but I'm assuming that this is going to take up the area where they currently have the animation drawing class. Because I can't really think where else they would fit this in that building. And that makes sense because animation is coming back to Disney's Hollywood Studios, which we'll be talking about soon.
Yes, that sounds about right. And I'm very excited for this. I know a lot of people are really excited for this. So this is great.
I got to say, it does look like Bluey fans are going to get the better production out in Disneyland. The Fantasyland Theater, which used to hold real stage like Broadway style stage productions, hasn't done that in a while. They've been doing various celebrations like for Pixar characters. So this looks kind of similar to what they did with the Pixar characters, but maybe a little bit more elaborate based on this concept art. Basically, Bluey and friends will come out along with what looks like a live band of human musicians.
Yes.
And they're talking about musical show moments. I don't expect it to be a full-blown show, but more of a kind of thing where they come out and do a musical number and then have a mingle and dance kind of thing.
Yes, this is honestly, it sounds identical to Pixar Fest, which I personally loved. It's basically like you're at like a street festival. That's all Bluey. You have random character meet and greet and photo ops spread out. There's going to be, Pixar Fest had like a craft corner. I believe they said there's also going to be crafts. So I love this setup. And then they'll do spontaneous musical numbers. This should be really great, really interactive, and somewhere you can kind of like kids can blow off steam and run around in a safe environment.
I personally, I miss the full scale shows. I loved Mickey and the Magical Map. I really liked the Tale of the Lion King that they had brought over from California Adventure. But I get that kids often don't have the patience to sit down for a half-hour show, and this is something that they can drop in and spend as much or as little time with as possible. So
Yes.
it makes sense.
Troubadour Tavern is going to have seasonal food. So they didn't release what
Yes.
exactly that's going to be, but that's where the baked potatoes are, and they're usually really good. So should be
Yes.
great.
So there's lots of other attractions coming to Disneyland in 2026 that we will talk about a little later on. But if you want to see Bluey and Bingo on the high seas, they're currently meet and greeting aboard the Disney Wonder cruise ship. And soon they are going to be aboard the Disney Dream. That's going to be during their sailings from Fort Lauderdale starting in February. And the Disney Wish, they'll be popping up there starting in June.
Yes, it is Bluey's world, and we are just living in it.
Yeah.
I did watch the first episode because I have never seen this, admittedly. It is really cute.
Yeah. Obviously, we're not the target demographic for it, but they are adorable. And there's Bluey invading the whole world. We've also talked before about a Bluey roller coaster coming next year to Alton Towers. So, like you said, it's Bluey's world.
Indeed, it is.
Okay. Next up, let's talk about some characters that are a little bit more my demographic.
Yes.
The Muppets.
Oh.
I will follow the Muppets anywhere. They've had their ups and downs this year. Most famously, they were co-starring in a Broadway show that lasted about a week and a half before it prematurely closed. No one is blaming the Muppets themselves for that.
No.
That one. But live appearances from the Muppets are going to be coming to the Disney Cruise Line in the future, according to a report in Time Magazine. So a reporter, Chris Nashaw, my apologies, Chris Nashawade sat down with Lee Slaughter, who is the VP of Muppet Studio, works with Walt Disney Imagineering, and had an interesting statement about the future of the Muppets with Disney. We already know that Muppets are being used in the theme parks, but they let slip that Kermit and Company will also be appearing more in Disney's cruise ships, including live appearances from the characters on both land and sea. So not officially announced exactly how they will appear, but if it's as good as the Midship Detective Agency on the Fantasy, which is my favorite thing about the Fantasy, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yes. I mean, the history of the Muppets in Disney parks is probably one of my favorite lores to go into the rabbit hole, because there's so many gems and what ifs and almost and just things that never quite worked out. I will say I am hyped for Rock and Roller Coaster. I cannot wait for that changeover to happen, because that is going to be good.
Well, Disney apparently can't wait for that changeover to happen either, because it's already begun, and we will definitely touch on that when we talk on our main attraction.
Yes. I have something to add to that too, which I accidentally got to do one of the last pre-shows. And I videoed it just for fun, and I didn't realize the next day it would be gone.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, we will definitely be jumping into that when we talk about some of the next year's big openings in our main attraction. But one reminder, if you want to see the Muppets live in the theme park right now, Jollywood Nights is featuring them in the stage show that's at Theater in the Stars.
Yes. And I will say, if you could stay up late, go to the last one, because no one is at the last one, whereas the first shows are slammed, and you could walk into the last one right at start and get an amazing seat.
That's a great tip.
It's late though, but it's okay.
It is, yeah. Oh, you want to get every penny out of that ticket price. Absolutely. So you want to stay till the bitter end for sure. All right. Now let's talk about a story that has gripped not just the theme park world, but all media, all news this week. And that is Netflix securing a bid to acquire Warner Brothers. for about $82.7 billion. Just chump change. Got that lying in the couch, right?
Is this the Stranger Things revenue?
Yeah, that's just one episode of Stranger Things
Yeah.
right there. So this was announced on the 5th of December as a done deal. Now there's been some developments since then with people saying it's not a done deal. Paramount Skydance has made it clear that they have a bid as well. Washington may get involved with antitrust questions. So maybe it's not going to happen, but assuming it does happen, we've got a couple great articles on our website about how a merger between Netflix and Warner Brothers could change the theme park landscape.
Yes. I mean, this could only be a good thing when it comes to theme parks, I guess. I mean, the possibilities are endless. We have Netflix inching their way into the theme park world with Netflix House, which is basically sort of like theme park-ish, adjacent at least.
Yep. I'm not going to jump to the conclusion it can only be a good thing, because I am a believer in that capitalism thrives when there's competition.
Yeah. I mean,
But if
Universal
we've
War,
just accepted that basically our media and entertainment is going to be controlled by fewer companies than you can count on your hand. Then if it's going to happen, then what might that mean for theme parks? Right now, Warner Brothers itself does not own or operate any theme parks outright, but they have licensing agreements with companies like Village Roadshow, which has Warner Brothers Movie World in Australia, Miral, which has Warner Brothers World Abu Dhabi, and of course Universal, which has the Wizarding World theme parks lands around the world. Netflix also doesn't own and operate theme parks, but as you mentioned, they've got their Netflix House indoor venues, which they have been talking about expanding. So if these two companies come together, what could that mean for collaboration? Universal, for one, has proved they collaborate well with Warner Brothers. They collaborate well with Netflix, having Stranger Things and Haunting of Hill House. So maybe that connection could deepen.
Oh, I would kill for a Stranger Things land.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all would. But it's exciting. I mean, to think of, but yeah, I mean, there's challenges and cautiously optimistic.
So the biggest question I think a lot of theme parks fans would be asking in terms of licensing is, because I don't expect the merged company to go taking away Harry Potter rights from Universal or anything crazy like that. But the Six Flags relationship with DC characters,
which is big.
That could be a question. And according to a report from Bloomberg, which is a usually fairly reliable business reporting service, they said on December 4th that, which was granted before this Netflix merger was officially announced, they said that Warner Brothers is in discussion with theme park operators, including Comcast and Universal, to license the DC comic book heroes for new rides in theme parks. So how is that discussion related to the Netflix acquisition? We honestly don't know. But Blake has written a great analysis of what it could mean. That's up at attractionsmagazine.com. So I encourage you to read it to dig into the details. I've heard that the current contract between Six Flags and Warner Brothers for DC and Looney Tunes characters runs through about 2058.
Wow.
And I know that there is a clause in there that says if Six Flags was to be purchased by another company that is involved in the movie business, that Warner Brothers could revoke the rights. But I don't know if there's anything going the other way around of if Warner Brothers is bought out, what that means for the rights.
Wow. I mean, that's very interesting. I mean, I guess this is sort of comparable to what we have at Universal with Superhero Island and, all the Marvel stuff and
mhm.
Disney. So it is very fascinating, complicated, and
Yeah.
there's all these little, I'm sure, notes in the contract that prevent
Yeah.
things.
And if anyone has a copy of, for some contracts like the contract between Universal and Warner Brothers for Harry Potter, we have the SEC K filings to actually see what those are. I haven't seen the actual contract for this, so if anyone has a copy of it, please slide it our direction so
I'd
we can
love
read
to
it.
see that.
But let's, in absence of any actual information, let's just wildly speculate. I've always found it fascinating that when Islands of Adventure was in development, when it was called Project X, the original plan was for the land currently occupied by Marvel Superhero Island to be DC superhero based. You would have a Superman ride in place of the Spider-Man ride. There was going to be a Batman roller coaster where the Hulk roller coaster is. And at the time, I think in the 90s when that was under development, DC was on top. Batman movies were
Right.
huge. People still remember the original Superman movies, whereas there hadn't been an X-Men movie yet. There hadn't been an Iron Man movie or a Spider-Man movie yet. And when they decided that they didn't want to pay the percentage to Warner Brothers to make the DC land, they went to Marvel because Marvel was cheap, because no one was interested in Marvel at the time. And they got it just at the right time, because I don't think anyone can argue that throughout the 2000s that Marvel was on the rise. Leading right up to Avengers Endgame, Marvel biggest thing in the movie industry, right?
Yeah.
But since Endgame, in the last 3-4 years, especially since James Gunn has come over to take over DC, I think that DC is now the one that's on the rise, and people talk about how Marvel has kind of lost its way.
Right. They're doing everything at the same time, and it's too much, it's fatigue is real.
Yeah. So we know that the Marvel contract with Universal is basically in perpetuity as long as they maintain what they currently have. But they have to go through all sorts of hoops if they ever want to change or add anything. Maybe, they've resisted before. They've had other opportunities to trade with Disney. But if, the opportunity to have DC instead, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I enjoy the attractions in Marvel Superhero Island, but definitely the land itself feels like a time capsule. It feels
Mhm.
very early 2000s. For whatever, it's probably the place in Universal I spend the least amount of time in, not because I don't like Spider-Man. I love that ride, but it's just the land itself, could use a refresher.
You could do a Six Flags and just slap a Green Lantern sign on top of the Hulk, and I'd be fine with it. It's still
Right.
the same ride. I will very much miss Spider-Man if that goes away, especially since the Japan version is gone. So, could they do a Superman or Justice League ride that would be just as good? Probably, but they already have that at Warner Brothers in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And it's good, but it's not Spider-Man. It's not great.
Right.
So I don't know. We will definitely be following all of these developments very closely over the coming years.
Absolutely.
And for our last piece of news in the queue, we are going outside the United States, down to Nueva Vallarta in Mexico, where Bon, which has been described as the world's first luxury theme park, is going to open in 2026. I was blown away when I first saw announcements about this at IAPA in 2024. They had some more reveals about it at the 2025 IAPA Expo a few weeks ago. And now we have some actual dates or time frames for the opening of this 2,500-acre luxury complex starting just at the beginning of this month. December 1st, they opened the very first phase. And
Yes.
it looks amazing. The concept art is just stunning. And if anyone who works there is listening, please invite us down so we can see it in person and talk all about it, please.
Yes, I would absolutely love to. Mexico already has a Six Flags, so I mean, this is not a new
Yeah,
concept to have a theme
but
park in
this
Mexico.
is no Six Flags.
Yes, this is no Six Flags. This is luxury focused. They are keen on keeping it minimum capacity, so you have like a
Yeah.
luxury experience without needing fast passes, whatever. But this is basically a massive resort. They also operate one on the west side of Mexico, but that I think they kind of tease that maybe there could be theme parks and expansions over there too. But this is the first of it. The hotel, the Bon Hotel, has already opened earlier this month. And then I believe next week, they're getting the first Cirque du Soleil aquatic based show in Las Vegas, which is another huge piece of this.
Yes. There's so many exciting things in this project, and they kind of like, it's almost like a couple dream projects all crammed into one. They call it the best of all possible worlds because it's blending that high-end hospitality, the entertainment, and they've also got a real eco-conscious focus on natural beauty. It's a car-free resort. So the as you mentioned, the Bon Hotel, which is a luxury hotel that
And Bon
opens
means
up.
beauty of nature,
Yes.
FYI, because
Yes, it is an acronym, BON, Beauty
Yes.
of Nature. It that opened up on December 1st, and it is an all-suite property, and it looks over the theme park with many of the suites having direct views, not unlike the Helios Grand over at Epic Universe.
Yes, and they're really kind of digging into the multi-gen thing. These have the kitchenettes, so you can have the whole family. If you want to, bring snacks and whatever to feed the kids, whatever, that's kind of been their whole thing, is it's for all ages, all types of traveler, romantic couples, families, whatnot. That's what they're kind of going after.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, December 16th, coming up in just a few days, that is the official debut of Cirque du Soleil's newest show, Ludo. And this is going to be in a custom-made $200 million facility. It's a 690-seat theater, 696-seat theater. And as you said, it's their first aquatic show since if you've ever heard of it in Las Vegas, that is one of their most iconic productions with acrobats diving in and out of the water. Well, this takes that even further with a 360-degree water stage and a wraparound aquarium that surrounds the audience. Plus, it's a dinner show, so there is gourmet dining integrated with the performance. So this is seriously over the top. This goes even further than even their most elaborate shows in.
And the
Las
theater
Vegas.
itself looks beautiful. I can't
absolutely
wait
beautiful.
to see. Hopefully, some people. The theme park's not coming until next year, so I'm not sure who's going to be covering it from like our angle yet, because it's a work in progress. But I can't wait to see actual photos and not just artist renderings and whatnot.
They are having some concerts as well, filling the time before that theme park opens. December 11th, Lionel Richie is launching the resort with, and then Michael Bublé will be headlining the first major performance of 2026 on May 21st. They plan on announcing other big names throughout the year.
Yeah.
But the big thing that we would be waiting for is the theme park, which is scheduled to open sometime in fall of 2026.
Yes, there are no concrete dates.
Yeah, we don't have an opening date. I assume that they'll probably soft open it in phases to folks who are staying in the hotel. Grand opening sometime in the fall. But
Yeah,
the key
and
to
for the
this,
first year, it's only for hotel guests. So this
yes,
is very historic because I don't believe it's been done in modern times where you have 1 year exclusive
yeah,
just for the hotel. And the hotel's only, I think, 3,000 units.
right.
So
So
how many
this
people is that? Not a lot.
So this exactly that's what blows my mind. Let's say you've got an average of these are suites. So let's say you're averaging 4 people per room.
Right.
You're still talking about if 10 to 12,000 guests per day.
But it's even that though, because you have to remember there's also a championship
There's
golf
yeah,
course,
there's
there's
lots of other things.
beaches,
Yeah.
pools. Yeah.
Um, they are very focused on the idea of low crowds, short waits, high service standards. They want basically every ride to feel like you're in the express lane.
Yeah.
That no one goes standby.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
super curious, of operation costs because that means there's 25 rides being staffed, 20 something restaurants being staffed. I mean, this is crazy.
23 attractions, and
Yep.
that includes major coasters. Their headliner is Takani Beast, which we've talked about in the past. A major themed launch roller coaster, family rides, dark rides, flat rides, altogether 23 of them. Compare that to Epic Universe, which opened with 11.
Yeah.
25 restaurants, and they claim that they are surpassing the typical theme park dining standard, and 16 shops. So to keep all of those things fully staffed for a park that is hosting between a quarter and maybe a half the population of what Orlando theme park would get on a slow day, that's the labor cost for that kind of blows my mind,
Yes.
which
It's
makes
kind
me
of
think that the ticket cost is going to match.
yes. It reminds me a lot of just that concept of Kathmandu that I got
Yeah.
to go to in the Dominican Republic,
Hmm.
and that was fully staffed and also with the hotel guests, and there was like no one there,
Yeah.
So amazing dark ride, walked right on, and it
And
kind of
what
felt a little eerie, there it was just very quiet.
and what's the current status of
I
Kathmandu?
know, I know.
Yeah.
Rip.
So, if this place lives up to the concept renderings that they've shown us, it's certainly going to be a world-class destination. The question is there enough of a luxury theme park market to sustain it?
Yes, and I feel like that was again with to bring it to Kathmandu, but that's really the closest reference point that I have is when you're going to a destination like the Caribbean, like Mexico, as a tourist, what do you want to do? And
Mhm.
personally, like I want to go to beaches, I want
Mm,
to swim, maybe play golf, do an outdoor activity or two,
mm,
but I'm not sure if I want to go to a theme park. And I love theme parks. I
yeah.
still would go at least one day,
Yeah, I think we called that the Hard Rock Park effect, where they
Yes.
they built a beautiful theme
Myrtle
park
Beach.
in Myrtle Beach, and people are like, we go to Myrtle Beach for Myrtle Beach.
Yes.
But if anyone could pull this off, it's probably Grupo Vedanta, because they've been at this for 50 years, and
Yes.
they've been successful, like you said, with their existing Vedanta World Rivera Maya in the Caribbean. That's already got its own Cirque show and golf courses. So they've got a model that they think is going to work, and I would love to see it in person. So if anyone from Vedanta World is listening, Carly and I
We
will be
volunteer
there.
as
We
tribute.
volunteer tribute.
Yes. I will say they did invite me to come for the Cirque, but
Ah,
I decided not to just because I feel like I won't get the full effect until the
mhm.
theme parks open, and that seems like it's gonna be soon-ish.
Well, next time,
So
pass that invite on to me.
yes, yes. I cannot wait to see this, and again, they're working with all the leaders in attraction manufacturing.
Yes.
We have Intamin, all of them. They
Yeah.
are working with
They've
them.
got all
So
the heavy hitters. They've
yeah.
got all the tools they need to make this a world-class park. So,
Yeah, so I cannot wait.
yeah. All right, that's going to bring us to the end of the news in the queue. Before we jump into this week's main attraction, it's time to hear for a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
And while we're at it,
Our Epic Universe magazine is the ultimate grand opening souvenir for Orlando's newest theme park. It's got 64 pages of photos, vacation planning advice, and behind-the-scenes secrets from all 5 portals: Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Celestial Park. It's not every day a new theme park opens in Orlando, so mark the moment and celebrate history with the Attractions Magazine Epic Universe grand opening issue. Now available at attractionsmagazine.com.
It's time for the main attraction.
all right, for this week's main attraction, 2025 isn't over, but let's jump right into 2026 and the opening and closing time frames for 8 major attractions hitting Walt Disney World in the coming year. And one of these is one that you got to say goodbye to
Yes.
just recently.
Accidentally.
Yeah. So none of these projects should come as a surprise if you listen to us on a regular basis. We've talked about all of these in the past. But Blake Taylor on our website has put together a list, a summary with updated opening and closing time frames that we've recently received. So let's start out with Frozen Ever After in Epcot, where Elsa, Anna, and Kristoff are getting new faces starting in February. The ride will be going down for its refurb on January 26th. So your last chance to see the creepy rear projected faces is January 25th. We don't have the exact date in February, but I imagine that they've got the new figures all ready to go, and it'll be a matter of swapping them out and fine-tuning them for a few days, and hopefully it shouldn't take too long to make that change.
And you have gotten to see these new
Yes, I
in
got
Hong
to see
Kong?
these. Yes, Hong Kong already has these, and we've also seen they are being used in the one that's opening in Paris soon. So much better. I was a fan of the advancement, the technological creativity of the rear projected faces when they first popped up. But the problem is that the light level, the blending between the projection and the physical body never stayed right, because those bulbs, those projectors never stay in focus. They never keep the same brightness level. So it was inevitable that they were going to just get creepier and creepier as time went on.
It's like an old television screen or computer screen, just kind of weird.
And
But this is great.
we did talk recently about a Imagineering video clip showing some new front projected faces that they are experimenting with. But I guess those are not quite ready for prime time. So in the meantime, the sculpted faces that I got to see in Hong Kong look great, and you will be able to see them in Epcot in February.
So soon.
Next up, so Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith is not officially closing until sometime in the spring for its conversion into a Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, but a very important component of it did go away, and you got to say goodbye even though you didn't know it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. 2 weekends ago, I was at Jollywood Nights, as I had talked about. And every time I'm over there, I've been trying to go on it, riding it like it's my last time. You
never know.
Dinosaur, you never know. So that was 2 Saturdays ago. Went on it, did the pre-show, loved it. I mean, they weren't closing the doors. It was really like you could stand around and watch it. Of course, I'm going to watch it. Then the next day, poof, it was
closed.
Gone.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think like I was one of the last people that got to see it. It was late that Saturday night, and I'm so happy that I did it and watched it because wow, that's one of my favorite parts of the ride. But that's also one of the biggest changes that's coming to the new version. They have all those
Yes.
animatronics, and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
going to take the bulk of the work. At least it seems to me.
Yeah, a lot of the changes in this ride are basically changing out the music, probably changing some props and lighting along the
Yep.
way. But the roller coaster itself is going to be the same roller coaster that we've been used to. The pre-show is what fans of the Muppets are really looking forward to because the concept art has shown us a mix of animatronics and projections to bring the Muppets into the recording studio where Aerosmith have been all this year. But if you were hoping to get to see Steven Tyler and the gang in the booth one more time, you missed your chance. They've got it walled off, and folks are just going straight from the queue right into the loading area now.
Yes.
So.
And also to note, with all the Walt Disney World dates, for the most part, they're just seasonal
Yeah.
timeframes that they gave us. Disneyland was a lot more like concrete,
Specific,
actual
correct.
dates. This
Yeah.
is like spring, summer, late summer. So that's something to keep in mind. So we really don't know when exactly
Yeah.
your last
Yeah.
chance to ride Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith is, but
Yeah,
spring, if
sometime in
you-
the spring, but before the summer is over, it will reopen with the Muppets. They promise. Something else that is coming in the spring, again, exact date TBD,
Yep.
is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This has been down since
a long time.
January of 2025. So, it'll end up being almost a year and a half or more that this ride has been gone. We've seen from aerial photography that they did basically a complete retracking. So hopefully this version will feel as smooth as the version in Disneyland, which is much more pleasant to ride.
Oh my gosh, I did it 2 nights ago at like 11 PM when it was dark. That is a top tier ride
Yeah.
at night. When you go through the caverns and all the projections, it is like beautiful and just a great roller coaster, which I haven't done it in a while at night, and it just made me so excited for this to reopen at Magic
Yes.
Kingdom.
Speaking of caverns, the Rainbow Caverns during the first lift hill is going to get a new lighting show package. Looks like it's going to transform from cheerful, colorful to scary lava. We haven't heard any confirmation, though, that there's going to be that explosive scene on the third lift hill that they have in Disneyland. I suspect we might not be getting that.
Right.
All right. On the other side of the Magic Kingdom, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin has been down for a major refurbishment since August, but it will also come back sometime in the spring. And when it does, they're going to have a new introductory scene with a new character, as well as new blasters that will no longer be fixed in place. You'll be able to pull them out of the vehicle and move them around a lot easier. I like that version at Disneyland much better.
I'm so excited. I got to test the new blasters.
Yeah, you got invited to that.
Yeah, and it was so like I'm such a big fan of Men in Black and Universal because I can actually see where my target is and what I'm shooting, and that's how I kind of felt about this. In the last couple of times I had went on it, I was like, I'm not even going to shoot because I don't know where I'm shooting. Now I think you could see it, and you need that when you're doing an interactive game. You need to have that working because it makes all the difference.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, they're going to use different colored lights, so you'll be able to tell where you're shooting versus just everyone having the same target all over.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So moving over to Epcot, Soarin' Across America is coming to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday. It's not arriving at Disney California Adventure until July 2nd, but here in Florida, we will be able to enjoy it by Memorial Day. That's May 25th, but the wording makes me think that it'll probably be a soft opening a few days before then.
Yes, this is exciting. I'm definitely excited to see what locations across the country they pick. And, it's always fun when they, bring back old versions or do new versions of this attraction. So I feel like this is definitely going to be something to look out for.
And then at Disney's Hollywood Studios, there's a bunch of stuff coming. In the summer, The former Playhouse Disney show has been retired, but they are bringing in the Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse live show that is currently running in Disney California Adventure. I actually like this current version a lot better than the previous Mickey Roadsters Racers show. That was a lot more disjointed. This actually almost has a plot,
Yes.
and it's got all your favorite characters. So this one I think is going to be a hit for kids at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And also coming a little later in the summer, and by late summer, they could mean Labor Day. It could be
Yeah.
early September, right? The magic of Disney animation is returning to Hollywood Studios after 11 years of being away. Star Wars Launch Bay is done, outlived its usefulness. And instead, we are having an attraction back based on Disney animation. We'll not have live artists animating actual films like it did in the early days, but it will bring back the animation drawing experience. And it will also have a meet and greet experience called Off the Page that they recently gave us some more details about. This one is going to be kind of unique because it's both a meet and greet and an educational experience about the animation process.
Yes, I'm so excited. I think of all the announcements, obviously besides Muppets Coaster, this is so exciting because it just beckons the golden age of Disney MGM Studios. And I'm just so happy we're going back to the roots.
Yeah. So the 6 characters are going to appear, each in their own individual photo op. And each of the photo ops is inspired by a different stage of animation. For instance, the first step in creating an animated movie is creating a storyboard. And you're going to get to meet Mulan, whose film was made right there at the studios. Get to meet with her in front of a giant storyboard. Another one that they showed us is for layout. Rapunzel is going to be greeting in a photo op that recalls the multi-plane camera. And if you've ever been through the One Man's Dream exhibit, they have a mock-up of that on display. It was an early special effects technique that let 2D animation look like it was 3D.
Yes. Oh God, this sounds great. I cannot wait. I mean, it's summer, late summer, 2026. We'll be here very, very soon.
The other 4 stages that will have meet and greets are hand-drawn animation, computer animation, lighting, and effects. The characters that go with each of those have not yet been announced. But they have announced that there's going to be a Mary Blair-inspired Alice in Wonderland playground, as well as exhibits on the history of animation to enjoy there. So I'm excited to see that come back for sure.
Yes, same here. We need it.
And then sometime in 2026, who knows exactly when, Level 99, which is an interactive physical gaming facility, is going to be opening up at Disney Springs in the rotting corpse of the NBA experience. We've kind of gone full circle on that because that once upon a time that was Disney Quest, which was interactive gaming experiences, and then we went to NBA experience, and now we're going back to a new kind of interactive gaming experience.
Yes, very curious about that one.
Some other little tidbits. February 1st of 2026 is going to be your final day to ride Dinosaur and see the rest of Dinoland USA, or what's left of it. Because as of February 2nd, all of Dinoland USA will be officially closed for its transformation into Tropical Americas. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, Bluey and Bingo are going to be coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom sometime in the summer.
Yeah. So 2026, a lot of things are changing, and this is good.
Yep. No brand new ground up e-ticket attractions on the agenda, but those are going to be coming before the end of the decade over in Radiator Springs, coming to Magic Kingdom and other major developments like the Monsters Inc. coaster.
Yes,
So
and they did mention at Disneyland that Avengers Campus expansion is going to be rocking and rolling in 2026, and so is the Coco ride. So
yes,
progress.
so yep, lots of new stuff coming to Disney in the coming year, and we will be here to tell you all about it. Before we wrap this show up, let's take a look at a few of the comments that you left us. And Michael Bingham's mom is very excited about Bluey coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom. That just proves that, I guess, no matter what your demographic, that Bluey has a hold on all of us.
A chokehold on us all.
It also another question from David Anthony, wondering if Simpsons and Marvel would be taken out, presumably of Universal. Simpsons, a lot of debate about when that contract is up. All signs point to Simpsons probably being phased out of Universal over the next few years, but nothing definitive announced. And as we talked about in the show, Marvel, your guess is as good as mine. But I think the only thing that would get Universal to give up the Marvel characters at Islands of Adventure would be if they could replace them with DC superhero characters. And one last from Michael Bingham. He's got sweet emotions over Aerosmith leaving, but like me, very excited about the Muppets. Thank you all for being with us. Oh, we got a last minute comment from Brian Sager following up on Simpsons. Rumors that the Simpsons contract was renewed for, yes, I had heard tell of an extension for a few more years, but I personally think that maybe the Simpsons by 2030, that sounds like a good time for them to be gone.
I'm ready. I gotta be honest. I'm ready for a little refresh. Those lands are ripe for something else.
Yeah. If nothing else, I think that the motion simulator needs some love because it gets harder and harder. It increasingly reminds me of the last days of Back to the Future, where it was just trying to, break your back.
Yeah, I don't go on it too often because I'm nervous about it ruining my entire day.
I hear you. Well, before we go, let's thank our sponsor again, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, and also a reminder that if you want, you can purchase your copy of Our Epic Universe magazine at our website. You can also please give us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you happen to listen to us, and a like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, please be sure to follow us at attractionsmagazine.com and search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media platforms. Carly, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Adventures by Carly.
And you can find me at Eskabursky and at The Unofficial Guides, and buy copies of my 2026 unofficial guidebooks at theunofficialguides.com. And until next time, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. We will see you again next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.